Welcome back to Yodas and thanks for joining me. So, bullseye, throwing out the center of the board is cool. Let me show you a few more ways, a few more numbers and checkouts we can start to use this bullseye a little bit more efficiently. Please join me. Okay, so let's talk about bullseye. We use it, it's worth 50. If you've got 50 to take out, you're going to go for it. It's a rock star finish, tried and tested. You will always do that. But there's a time and a place when you can start to use the center of the board, the bullseye and the 25 for other finishes. And I just want to show you a few today so you can just add them to your repertoire. Okay, so we're going to start at the top of the board at double 20, which is worth 40. Now, if you have 90, of course you need to know the conventional route for these numbers. So 90 is treble 20, double 15, or treble 18, double 18. But if you have 90 and you've got 3 darts, this is where you can start to throw at the center of the board. So bullseye, so 90 is bullseye for double 20. Okay. Now, if you miss the bullseye and hit your 25, it leaves 65. Now, you just make a decision, depending on how many darts, you've probably got 2 darts left at this point. Should you go treble 15, double 10? Possibly. That's the more common way to take out 65, the safer way, because if you miss your treble 15, hit the big 15, I call that the miss rule, missing the treble, hitting the big number, it leaves 50, doesn't it? It leaves you back to bullseye. Okay, that's how common we use bullseye. But, when you're in the moment, though, and maybe you've missed your bullseye for 90 and you hit your 25, you live left to 65, you might make that decision to go for your 25 double 20. So you make the decision in the moment, but just know that 65 is great, especially if you've got 3 darts, to go for that 25 for double 20. So add those two numbers. Okay, now next number, double 18 is 36. Now if you've got 86, of course you need to know it's treble 18 double 16. Okay, that's the most conventional route. But you're feeling good. You're hitting that center of the board, and it's also a bit of a showy finish whenever you use bullseye or 25 first. It looks good. It looks like you know more than you do. Okay, and it can rock your opponent if you hit it, which is never a bad thing. So bullseye double 18 is 86. If you miss your bullseye, hit your 25, that's 61. Great way to go. 61 is 25 double 18, especially with 3 darts. I must always stress that. You must know your 2 dart finishes. Okay, if you've only got 2 darts left and the heat is on, your opponent's on your shoulders, would you go for 25 double 18? Maybe, but you should really go treble 11 double 14, because missing that treble 11 and hitting the big 11 leaves you a shot out of bullseye. So you've got to use the percentages where possible. Okay, but these are just adding just ways to take out these numbers, add them to your mental Rolodex is what I recommend. Okay, let's go to the next number of double 16, which is worth 32. So 82, bullseye double 16. Most people go that way for 82. Of course, you can go treble 14 because that's 42. So know your treble values. Treble 14 for double 20. Of course, you can do that. But bullseye double 16, a great way to do it. Now, this is a bit more controversial. If you hit the 25, you're left with 57. Okay. Now, if you've got 2 darts or 3 darts of 57. Say let's have a scenario you hit the 20s, but you're really strong on the 16s. You could take a chance here and go for your 25 double 16. Of course, you need to know the safe route. Single 17, double 20. Of course it is, but 25 double 16. I do it all the time. I love it. Just be aware, if you do hit the bullseye, you're left with 7, and you're gonna have to waste a dart to get to an even number, aren't you? But it is fun to go that way. So just add that to your list. Okay, now next number, 18s, double 18s, double 8 is 16. Now if you've got 66, treble 10, double 18, you need to know that one. But if you've got 3 darts of 66 and you love the 8s, why not go for bullseye double 8? Great way. If you hit your 25, it leaves 41. Now of course you wouldn't go for 41 trying to go for the 25 double 8, because if you hit the bullseye you would bust, but you do need to know it's 41. So when you are left with 41, you know exactly what you're doing. A single 9 for double 16, or a single 5 for double 18. Okay, or 1 double 20. Okay, so you do need to know both of the numbers, but I do like bullseye double 8 for 66 because it's just a bit showy. It's cool, isn't it? Let's go to the next one. Anything with a bullseye is cool. So double 14, 28. So if you've got 78, more conventional route, treble 18, double 12, you need to know that. But bullseye double 14 is a really cool way to do it. If you miss the bull and hit the 25, it would leave 53. So if you want to, you could go 25 double 14. I wouldn't recommend it, simply because if you hit the bullseye, you're left with 3, and no one wants that, right? but certainly adding 78 to your mental Rolodex is a bullseye double 14 is a great thing to do, especially if you're having a laugh with your mates. Whether you do it in a match, that's a decision you make, isn't it? But I like double 14. I don't often play for it, but I often get it when I go for it, so I must start adding that. I often go for 20s, 18s and 16s, but anyway, that's an additional point. So, and the final number of the day, double 12, which is 24. So if you've got 74, yeah, there are other ways to take out 74 than safer ways, treble 14, double 16, or treble 18, double 10. But, you know, why not? You know, especially if you're playing with your mates, bullseye, double 12. And especially if you love double 12, why wouldn't you? Missing the bullseye, hitting the 25 leaves 49. So again, you wouldn't really go for the center of the board with 49. You just got a more conventional route for that, because if you hit the bullseye, then you bust out. Okay, but that's pretty much the numbers we're going to cover today. I'm going to cover the ones I really love. So I think 90 is a great way to go bullseye. Okay. And I like 65, especially if I've got 3 darts. I like to go for 86, bullseye double 18. I also like to, especially when it's 61, I've got 3 darts, I like to go like 25, double 18. I also like the 16s, okay, 82 and 57. I think they're strong ways to use it. Less so the other numbers, okay, less so on the 8s, less so on the 14s and the 12s, but it's just good to know them, because the more you know, the better, okay. And there's certain times when you just know you're hitting that center of the board, so there's times when you can take a bit of a risk, isn't there? Anyway, so I hope you got something from that. There'll be another video just showing you a few more ways to take out, to use bullseye, and that'll be coming soon. So thank you so much for watching. The next video will be a little bit more on bullseye, just a few more ways to use it, because it's such a powerful number, and it's really showy, isn't it? So let's learn some more. Okay, thanks so much for watching. Take care for now.